Hey people, Dr. X Key Score again. So this is going to be the third video, the program. And what I'm going to do in this video is explain to you how to combat your targeting in a legal fashion. Back in 1999, there was a movie with Antonio Banderas, and it was referred to as the 13th Warrior. And he was off in some remote locale, I believe in Scandinavia, with the Vikings, and they were getting attacked by a mythical beast referred to as a fireworm. And it was really an assembly of humans disguised in monstrous looking costumes bearing fire. And they were a force to be reckoned with. And somewhere within the movie, Antonio Banderas was able to unmask one, and his comment was, "They're only humans. People, we are being targeted by fellow humans who just happen to have the upper hand because of advanced technology." However, some of that technology is available to us, and what I'd like to emphasize to you people is that you need to document everything. And I know it's time consuming. I know it's a pain in the ass. I know some people say it's not worth it. But when this does come out in the open, if you want any form of, how would you say it, cathartic healing against for what your oppressors have done to you, if you want any financial restitution for the situation without precise documentation, you're not going to get anything. So guys, there's a really, really good body camera, or not a body camera, a little handheld camera. It's a Sony HDR-AZ1. Henry David Robert Adam Zebra 1. They're not very expensive. They're splash proof, 11.9 megapixels. Grab yourself a few batteries. Grab yourself that clear plastic case for it. Can probably be done for around $200 all total, or maybe even less. Very, very small, very discreet. Now, videotaping your neighbors, watching you come in and out of the house. We all know about timed arrival, time departure. So whenever you leave, you've got company leaving with you. Whenever you arrive, you have people popping outside, popping their heads out of their houses. That's not going to work. That doesn't, yes, it is harassment. Yes, it is part of the targeting protocol. However, because they live there and they come in and out of their houses as part of their daily lives, that's plausible deniability. You're not going to be able to do anything with that. What you need to do is seek out the repeat offenders in the same vehicles swarming you over an extended period of time. That constitutes stalking and terrorism. License plate traces can be done anywhere from $10 to $50 a plate. Skip tracing, $75 to $125 subsequent to finding the individual via their license plate. That is where to start. That is one of the Achilles heels of the program, is the street level operators. And by the way, there's a chain. There's levels of security. So the people handing out orders in DC have 9 different layers between themselves and the people who are targeting you. So in asymmetric warfare, you have to target the weakest aspects of your enemy. This is a very Asian approach. Martial arts style. Americans. What was the used to be before mixed martial arts? What used to be their famous, most famous or favored full contact combat sport was boxing, where you're hitting the torso and the face of your opponent, the strongest and most well-guarded spots. It's not like you were dropping down and going in to sweep out his knee from behind or from the front if you wanted to break it. or taking out his Achilles heel. So the thing is that what you need to do is adopt an asymmetric fighting style which emulates how the Chinese operate in martial arts. In martial arts, it's not, 15 bouts of 3 minutes each or 12 bouts. It's usually over a lot quicker. And the mechanism which that is done by is to look for the weakest part of your enemy and to focus on that. To translate that to counter-targeting operations, what is one of the weakest aspects? It is the street-level stalkers. And it is not the ones that live right next door to you unless they're doing something blatant and repetitive, which would seem outside the norm, of their daily operations living next to you as a neighbor. You've got to find the people that show up in the funky colored vehicles or with the strange license plates or the strange clothing in their car or with the weird bumper stickers who always pop up when you least expect them and who you know by sight very well by now. Those are the people you need to go after. You find out who they are, and you will find out the next step is who they work for. And guess what? That's going to reveal a lot. They don't want you to know that. That's serious. Now, the next level up would be local law enforcement. So if you're having a lot of contact with local law and fire, you're getting battle swarmed in traffic, you're coming out of the store and you've got your vehicle surrounded by EMS or police personnel, by all means videotape this. You're being swarmed by terrorism liaison officers and local law enforcement en masse. That constitutes domestic terrorism. You haven't done anything wrong. You don't deserve this. Who are these people to infringe upon our rights and our ability to move around? These are serious, serious federal felonies. And once again, this also constitutes domestic terrorism. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So people start to document this stuff. As William Binney said, past, National Security Director at the NSA, he said the only way to make the cockroaches scramble is to expose them to sunlight. You guys have got to get more proactive about your targeting. That does not mean to confront. That does not mean to react. Only respond with a forethought. Do not react, respond. They're looking for you to react. If you provide them with a intelligent counter-targeting response, they're at a loss for what to do, because that's not what they're expecting. So, terrorism liaison officers, the whole program is documented. Local police have a county board of commissioners. I tell you what, go ahead, start making calls to your local police chief and the criminal investigations division for a few months. Make records, write some letters. When they don't answer, then write a letter to the county commissioners. Specifically mention your letters, when you sent them, your phone calls, when you made them. And one thing, people, do not reference active denial systems or advanced technology. That is a booby trap. You have to dismantle this via the simple aspects. If you go for something complex, like attempting to prove, so let's say, for example, the deployment of a sonic weapon. Well, most of these people, police included, are not educated about these weapon systems, nor county commissioners. So even though we know the patents are online, even though the military openly admits they're deployed, as soon as you reference this in any communications regarding your targeting, you will be discredited for being mentally unstable. And once again, that is one of the goals. It's an approach that Stalin used very effectively to commit millions of people to the gulags. Here, we have an electric gulag system set up. However, as soon as one references that, the rest of their well-founded argument will get thrown out the door. So people, please, please keep it simple. Start to document. Respond in an orderly fashion. Do not react. These people are beatable. This is going mainstream. Last week, a poor, beautiful, glowing young police officer, Latina girl, was killed in California. Second generation LEO. RIP officer, it's a shame. The man who killed her, before killing himself, had conveyed numerous communications, I don't know, phone calls, letters, to the local police department, I believe in Davis, California, stating that he had been targeted with sonic weapons. And he referenced something like, a cricket-like noise. But in layman's terms, he was describing everything that the diplomats in Cuba and Russia went through, and are still going through here, by the way. They're still being targeted. All right, people, keep the faith. God's warriors walk the earth. We are winning. Chins up. Do not despair. Help is on its way. Peace out.